urban outreach. If it wasn't there, you know, if it wasn't there, and we didn't get them little bits of guidance, nobody would get what I've got to do. They'd just get lost and forgotten.
Hi, I'm Dave Bagley, and I'm the Chief Executive of Urban Outreach Bolton. And for 23 years, we've been working with some of Bolton's most vulnerable, marginalised and disaffected people. And this is our story.
Family First is a project that works with troubled families who need extra support.
I've had mental health issues from being about 11, which we never spoke about. Went through a few bad relationships as a teenager. Went through a lot worse when I was older. It was really harmful for myself. Used to slash my arms to pieces in the past few years until I got Urban Outreach.
I offered a lot of emotional support, some quite long-standing enduring mental health problems, and she's now under the mental health team. She needed help with a house move. She was absolutely desperate to move due to past violent relationships in her old house, and now she's in a different house, and she loves the house that she's in now with her and her family.
I go to rugby club with my son, who I feel safe there, mainly because of the big men, but I feel safe there and I enjoy doing that.
Things are looking a lot more positive for her. She's got better relationships with her family and with her children, and she's able to get out a bit by herself now, and is more independent.
She's part of my life, she's part of my family. She's the one person that I can trust 100%, no matter what. No matter what I tell her, she'll not judge me. She doesn't look at me as if I'm a piece of dirt on the ground. She looks at me like I'm a human being, and she treats me like I'm a human being as well, which I've not had for a long time.
We have over 100 grub tubs in and around Bolton, where schools and churches and other organisations donate food every week, and it comes down to the centre and we feed up to 300 and 400 people a week.
I was in a very volatile relationship for 3 years, suffered domestic violence. I was also addicted to amphetamines, resulted in me being in hospital, badly beaten. No income for 12 weeks, so I had no means of supporting myself. And my domestic violence support worker got me in touch with Storehouse, the food bank, and I went down the first time, very nervous, ashamed, but was made to feel so at ease once I got there. Everybody was just so lovely. They provided me with just staples, really, you know, soups, things you could make a staple meal: pasta, tomato sauces, pasta sauces, tinned meats, and the odd treats of biscuits, which were a nice surprise, because you don't know what you've got really till you get home. So yeah, it really helped to get through each week, you know, knowing I'd got something to make a meal. With Storehouse, they've helped me to get my confidence back, pointed me in the right direction. Without the Storehouse project, I wouldn't be here, because I would have reverted back to coping mechanisms. So yeah, I wouldn't be here at all.
Always goes into Forest Bank Prison and speaks to every prisoner who's going to come out, no fix the road, to help them find accommodation and then work with them in the community. Most of them that I deal with have nowhere to live. With nowhere to live, you haven't got a base to build on. The important thing is finding the accommodation, and then we can work on anything then.
I first got into crime when I was about 16, just messing about with other lads, got into drugs, and then drugs, I committed crime to supply myself with drugs, and then ended up in prison. Lost my father's house through proceeds of crime, so I found out about Urban Outreach and always through the housing in Forest Bank, and that's where I met Sue.
He wanted to make differences, change his life, and he'd nowhere to live. He just had the clothes on his back and nothing else. And then I started working with him, finding him accommodation.
Sue's my housing support officer, She's helped me to get this flat and basically everything that's in it, from the carpets to the fire, the bedding, cooker, fridge, everything. She's been a guardian angel. She's got me everything.
It's very hard to get accommodation because people don't want to give ex-offenders a chance. Luckily, the landlord that owns Dean's flat gave him a chance, and he's still here 14 months later.
Ours has helped me massively. I'm not looking to use drugs now. I'm aiming to get drug free. I'm going to college now, which in the past wouldn't have happened. It's given me something to look forward to, having my own place. I've got something to lose, whereas before I didn't have anything to lose. Well, now I have. My kids have got somewhere they can come and see me. I've got twin boys. They're my incentive to stay drug free, to get a job and sort myself out. I want to inspire them to do well, not go down the road I went down.
The RUNA project work with young people in Bolton who are reported missing from home. We work with the police and schools to try and prevent further missing incidences. We offer support in terms of looking at the risks and dangers of going missing and helping them to access education.
I started running away because I was in a controlling relationship, and my ex-boyfriend at the time kept me off school and said that I don't want you to go in, and that's how I got used to not going into school, and I used to run away because I didn't want to go in anymore.
We try and build up relationships with a young person first, and then sometimes that'll go into building relationships with the family. With Hayley, she and her mum weren't getting on, so we tried to do a bit of mediation there.
We were arguing all the time because I didn't want to go into school, and it helped us a lot because me and my mum got a close bond after when we started talking to Becky, because we weren't really that close in the first place.
Me and Hayley go out together. We go to pubs sometimes now, bowling. We've been roller skating. So yeah, it's good when we're all together.
Me and my mum were very close. I feel like I can tell her anything. Last time I couldn't really tell her many things because I felt like I wanted to keep it to myself because I was running away from home and that. But now that I know that I've always got my mum there with me. Well, after I finish this course at college, I'm planning to go on to my level 3 and then hopefully go to uni and do midwifery. I wasn't where I wanted to be. I wasn't going in school, I wasn't getting my GCSEs, but now I'm so much happier because I've got everything that I wanted. I'm really excited about the future, yeah.
With the Reach Out project at Urban Outreach, our aim is to help women who are involved in on-street prostitution and help them to turn their lives around.
I was a working girl for about 2 years, and at that time I was using a lot of crack. I think that's the most I ever did it. I knew I wanted to get off gear. I was so determined. I don't think you ever get over it, because I'm still not over it now, and now I'm 29.
We want to empower them to make the right choices, whether it's the drugs, the housing, relationships, whatever support we can offer to actually get them women to exit this lifestyle, and then ongoing support after that.
Well, there were a time I can remember. I'd been drinking, split up with my ex-partner, and I had a relapse. I ended up going down to the street, but I rang Sheila. I told her I was going down to the street and she asked me not to, but she still came and got me at 9 o'clock at night and took me home. I don't know anybody else who would do that, whereas with Sheila, well, she's one of a kind, really.
Street Life is a project where we help the homeless and trying to move them into accommodation with support and everything. We have a drop-in which is every week. We also have the nurses come in the clinic where they can come and get their bandage changed and different things like that. And we also have BDAS here, which is a drug agency where they can come and get sorted onto with the drugs.
I'm 52-year-old and I've spent 35 years in drug addiction. Much of it spent in Bolton and prison. Urban outreach, you know, they never judged me in any shape or form. They always had a smile. They were caring, joyous people, you know. And I used to look at them and laughing and smiling, and I thought, I wish I could be like that. I wish I could laugh and smile. I long for what they had, you know, I really long for it. And I've got it now. Well, today I'm a son to my mother. You know, I have relationships with people today. I don't isolate in my own little world. My world's opened up. I've got that peace today. Yeah, I've got that inner peace today. Never had that.
Eve Space is a project that works with female offenders or those at risk of offending.
I'm glad that I found Eve Space, or Eve Space found me, because before that I was in a violent relationship with a guy who I had a kid with. We were both on smack, alcoholics, and it was Eve Space helped me become the person I am today. And I've come off heroin and alcohol after 15 years, just through sheer love of my son and to get him back.
We get involved in going to court with them and helping them when they've had the children taken off them, but there's giving that emotional support.
I had no hope. There was no hope for me. I had no one to help me or anything. I just had myself and my son, and it wasn't fair on him. At first, I couldn't understand why the social services took him away. I thought they were tight and evil, but now I can. I get the train on a Sunday, it takes an hour, and I see him for 3 hours. I always feel sick and nervous, but when I see the smile on his face, it drains out of me. Those 3 hours go too quick. I would love to have my son back. Sue Brindle has been there for me a lot. She's been my rock. She's influenced me and given me a kick when I needed one. She's pointed me in the right direction. Without Sue, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be dead.